And we're turning now to Greece, where police used tear gas, to break up protests by migrants and refugees. Ian Lee is following this and much more from London. Ian, what can you tell us?
Good morning, Laura. We're starting today in Greece with that widespread anger. Police fired tear gas to disperse migrants and asylum seekers on Monday while they were protesting for better living conditions on the island of Lesbos. Many of them are fleeing violence and persecution from Syria and Afghanistan. They want their asylum applications processed faster so they can move on from the overcrowded islands to Greece's mainland. Meanwhile, the residents of the Greek islands want the tens of thousands of migrants gone. They complain crime has skyrocketed since their arrival. To stem the flow of migrants, the Greek government announced plans to install a floating barrier in the Aegean Sea to deter crossings from Turkey. Next, Malawi is getting a rerun in their presidential race. Streets were quiet and businesses were closed ahead of yesterday's ruling by the Constitutional Court. Security forces were also out in large numbers. Two opposing candidates claimed there were irregularities in the victory of President Peter Mutharika. The 2019 election was a close one, with Mutharika not even reaching over 50% of the vote. The decision for a rerun was declared unanimously by the judges, and it will now has to be held within 150 days. Finally, we are ending this Tuesday in Nigeria with President Trump's recent travel ban. There are more than 300,000 Nigerian immigrants in the U.S. In 2018, Nigerians were granted 14,000 green cards. The studies show that Nigerians are among the most successful and highly educated immigrants to the U.S. But the president's new rules will put an end to that. The administration says it's because the country doesn't comply with identity verification and information sharing rules. Nigerians with tourist or student visas can still travel on temporary visas. Now, Laura, these travel bans can be a double-edged sword, especially in the case of Nigeria. The country has the largest and one of the fastest growing economies in Africa. With the U.S. alienating Nigeria, expect rival countries like China to swoop in and fill the vacuum.
And Ian, I was reading that Nigeria is one of 4 African nations that are now on the ban, so it's affecting something like a quarter of the people on that continent. Thank you.
Yeah.